It's official. This trial isn't just about Cassie anymore. What began as one woman's disturbing testimony has now cracked open something far bigger, something that could pull down some of the most powerful names in Hollywood. We're talking federal prosecutors shifting gears, courtroom whispers of secret audio tapes, insiders finally breaking their silence, and reputations that once seemed untouchable now dangling by a thread. The internet's exploding, the streets are buzzing, and every day, new names are being dragged into the storm. This isn't just gossip. This is the kind of scandal that could rewrite legacies, destroy billion-dollar brands, and reveal secrets that were never supposed to see the light of day. So buckle up, because what's happening right now is darker, wilder, and more dangerous than anyone thought.
At first, it seemed like the prosecution's case would stay narrow, locked in on Cassie's allegations, the disturbing abuse, the infamous freak-offs, and Diddy's controlling grip behind the scenes. That alone was enough to shake fans and drag his legacy into question, but then everything shifted. According to courtroom insiders and leaks spilling online, prosecutors decided Cassie's story was only the beginning. Suddenly, the spotlight moved away from her testimony and onto something no one expected at trial. The tapes. Not rumors, not speculation, actual audio, and not the kind of audio you can dismiss or laugh off. Reports say what was played inside that courtroom left people frozen in their seats, no phones allowed, no journalist recording, just silence heavy enough to make everyone realize they were hearing something serious, and that silence. It wasn't just about Cassie anymore, it was about names no one thought would ever be dragged into this, and names like Will Smith and Meek Mill, but this was only the first crack in the foundation. The first bombshell came when the prosecution revealed they had more than hotel surveillance footage. Behind closed doors, insiders claim graphic audio was played on tapes allegedly tying Diddy not just to Cassie, but to other high-profile figures. Sources described it as explicit, male-on-male, and beyond denial. The kind of recording that leaves a courtroom silent because no one knows what to say when the evidence is that raw, and when those whispers started linking Will Smith and Meek Mill's names to that audio, the internet did what it always does. It went into overdrive. Suddenly, years of rumors, old interviews, and cryptic comments started resurfacing, and the puzzle pieces began snapping together in ways nobody was prepared for. But the prosecution wasn't done yet. If the audio froze the courtroom, the new witnesses lit it on fire. One by one, voices that had been silent for years started speaking up. Former bad boy artists, tour staff, people who had been inside the parties, the hotels, the chaos. Dawn Richard, once part of Danity Kane, testified in court and later left the building visibly shaken. Insiders say her words backed up Cassie's story directly, confirming that what people whispered about behind closed doors was more than just gossip. It was reality. And then came the most gut-punching moment yet, Diddy's own daughter leaving court pale, silent, and visibly shaken. No smugness, no attitude, just blank, hollow shock. Witnesses claim this happened right after the audio was played. If true, it means even family couldn't ignore what was heard. This wasn't just a trial anymore, it was the collapse of an empire. The moment Will Smith's name got tied to the case, the internet turned into an archive machine, old clips of him and Diddy, playful interviews, awkward moments with Jaden. Suddenly, they weren't being viewed as harmless anymore. A resurfaced interview with comedian Lunel went viral where she casually joked about Diddy and Will being together. At the time, no one paid attention. Now, it's everywhere. Then came the nuclear drop. Will's former assistant, Brother Bila, claimed he personally saw Will in compromising situations, even naming actor Dwayne Martin in a shocking story. The internet lit up. Will finally broke his silence with a firm denial. His quote, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I did none of that stupid." But the second he said it, the internet flooded Twitter and Reddit with photos and videos of him and Diddy together at clubs, parties, award shows. Instead of clearing his name, the denial only fueled suspicion, and while Will tried to calm the storm, Meek Mill was about to make it worse. Meek's name being dropped in the courtroom audio sparked chaos. Unlike Will, who at least tried to stay calm, Meek went into full meltdown mode. His Twitter feed turned into a wall of defensive posts, each one making people believe the rumors more. Old clips started resurfacing, Diddy calling Meek daddy at a pool party. Awkward parties where Meek looked uncomfortable, viral videos where fans claimed he was acting too cozy. At first, those clips were jokes. Now, in the context of the trial, they looked like receipts. And the internet doesn't forget. Memes piled up, screenshots flooded timelines, and every time Meek tried to deny it, people dragged him back with his own past. The harder he pushed back, the more cooked he looked. But through all the noise, one thing stood out above everything else: the tapes themselves. For all the chaos, here's the strangest part: not a single second of the alleged audio has leaked. Not a clip, not a screenshot, not even a muffled recording. In today's world, everything leaks. Court documents, celeb iClouds, entire albums, yet somehow this hasn't. Journalists are asking tough questions. Why is evidence this explosive locked away? Why can't the public hear what's being used in open court? Theories spread fast. Some say it's to protect the dignity of those involved. Others claim it's because the tapes are too radioactive, too many powerful names tied to them. And then there's the darker theory that the government itself is protecting people with deep connections. If true, then Diddy, Will, and Meek may only be the surface of a much deeper iceberg. For all the chaos, here's the strangest part: not a single second of the alleged audio has leaked. Not a clip, not a screenshot, not even a muffled recording. In today's world, everything leaks. Court documents, celeb iClouds, entire albums, yet somehow this hasn't. Journalists are asking tough questions. Why is evidence this explosive locked away? Why can't the public hear what's being used in open court? Theories spread fast. Some say it's to protect the dignity of those involved. Others claim it's because the tapes are too radioactive, too many powerful names tied to them. And then there's the darker theory that the government itself is protecting people with deep connections. If true, then Diddy, Will, and Meek may only be the surface of a much deeper iceberg. For decades, Diddy wasn't just a music mogul. He was the culture. Bad Boy Records, lavish parties, politics, fashion, billionaire friendships. He was untouchable. But in hindsight, the red flags were always there. Artists leaving Bad Boy broken or vanished. Strange interviews where he dodged questions, former group members like Aubrey O'Day trying to sound the alarm for years, only to be ignored. Now in court, those warnings can't be brushed aside. Dawn. Richard confirmed it. Cassie confirmed it. The picture being painted isn't of a flawed mogul, it's of a predator, and the fallout isn't stopping with Diddy. Will Smith's reputation, already fragile after the Oscar slap, is sliding deeper. Meek's credibility is in shambles, and whispers suggest more names could still surface. Hollywood's velvet curtain is slipping, and what's behind it is darker than anyone imagined. At this point, the trial feels less about one man and more about the network behind him: power, secrets, and a culture of silence that's finally cracking open. And the scariest part? We still don't know everything. Those tapes, the witnesses, the sealed evidence. It's like a ticking time bomb. Because if those recordings ever see daylight, it won't just end careers, it could shatter the entire foundation of Hollywood's elite circles. The curtain is being pulled back. And what's waiting behind it might be the darkest story the industry has ever seen. As we've seen throughout this video, what started as a single woman's testimony has exploded into a full-scale unraveling of some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. Diddy, once seen as untouchable, now finds himself at the center of an investigation that could change the entire landscape of the entertainment industry. The trial, the tapes, the witnesses, all of it has the potential to redefine the careers of Diddy, Will Smith, Meek Mill, and many others. What was once whispered in dark corners is now being brought to light in a way that could reshape how we view these celebrities and their legacies, but the biggest question still lingers. What is the truth behind the tapes? Why have they remained locked away, leaving the public to speculate and theorize about their contents? As we continue to follow this story, one thing is clear: the curtain is slowly being pulled back on a much larger web of secrets and power dynamics in Hollywood, and we're only scratching the surface. Whether you believe these allegations or not, the shift in public perception is undeniable. The entertainment world has always been a place of glamour, but behind that glittering surface lies a darker, more complicated reality that more and more people are starting to uncover. The legacy of Diddy, his connections, and his impact on the industry will forever be viewed through this lens, and the fallout from this case is far from over. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank you all for joining me today. This is a story that's still unfolding, and we'll be here breaking it down as more details come to light. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our content. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends and family. Let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this, make sure to check out my other videos on the channel. I've covered a range of topics, from in-depth celebrity scandals to the latest industry insights, and there's plenty more to explore. Your feedback matters, so leave a comment below. What do you think about everything that's been happening with Diddy? Are there more names to come? Let's talk about it. Once again, thank you for watching. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and keep questioning the stories that the world wants to keep hidden. See you in the next video.